don't need a six-figure salary to achieve financial freedom. In fact, some of the most financially secure people I know don't earn huge paychecks. They've just mastered the secret to making their money work for them. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how to completely transform your financial life in just 6 months, following a clear step-by-step plan. This is the same blueprint that has helped thousands of people go from living paycheck to building real wealth. Hi, I'm the Investment Iguana, and welcome to my channel. Everything I talk about is just my opinion, so always do your own research before making any financial decisions. On this channel, we break down money, investing, and financial freedom in a simple, no-nonsense way. If that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button and let's get started. Let's dive into month 1. Have you ever heard of the ostrich effect? It's a psychological bias where people avoid uncomfortable information, especially when it comes to money. Ever delayed checking your bank account after a weekend of spending? Ignored a credit card statement because you just didn't want to see the damage? That's the ostrich effect in action. Our brains convince us that if we don't look, the problem doesn't exist. But avoidance makes things worse. Small issues snowball into bigger ones, and before you know it, you feel completely out of control. But the moment you face your finances head-on, everything shifts. Clarity replaces anxiety. Instead of worrying about what if, you start thinking what's next. So this month, we're ripping off the band-aid. Step 1. Calculate your core 4 numbers. These are the only 4 numbers that matter right now. Net income, your take-home pay after taxes. Fundamental expenses, the must-haves, rent, bills, groceries, transportation. Future you, any money already going towards savings and investments. Fun spending, everything else, dining out, subscriptions, shopping, entertainment. This exercise might feel uncomfortable. You might discover you're spending more than you thought on takeout, or that unused subscriptions are draining your account. But knowledge is power, and by month 6, you'll see why this step is foundational. To make it easier, use an app or spreadsheet that calculates everything for you. The less friction, the better. Now, month 2, save 1 month's worth of fundamental expenses. If your fundamental expenses add up to $2,500, that's your savings goal. It might sound like a lot, but this single step moves you into the top percentage of people who actually take control of their money. Most people don't reach this stage, not because they can't save, but because their brain fights against it. Humans are wired for immediate gratification, so saving feels like a loss. But here's a reframe. You're not depriving yourself. You're buying freedom. So for the next month, cancel subscriptions you barely use. Cook at home instead of eating out. Pause non-essential purchases. And remember, this is temporary. If saving this much in 1 month feels unrealistic, spread it over 2 or 3 months. But be honest with yourself. Don't use a stretched out timeline as an excuse to keep spending unnecessarily. The faster you build this fund, the sooner you break free from living paycheck to paycheck. Now, on to month 3. Tackle bad debt and start your emergency fund. A big mistake people make is trying to save and pay off debt at the same time. This often leads to getting stuck because not all debt is equal. Here's what to do. Rank your debt by interest rate from highest to lowest. Any debt over 8% interest, like credit cards or personal loans, should be your top priority. Use the leftover money from your core 4 calculations in month 1 to pay down the highest interest debt first. Once you clear high interest debt, shift your focus to your emergency fund. How much should you save? If you have a stable job, aim for 3 months of fundamental expenses. If your income is unpredictable, go for 6 months. But don't get stuck here forever. A lot of people pause their financial growth to keep stacking cash. Instead, in month 4, you want to start investing while finishing your emergency fund. Your emergency fund should be easily accessible, but not too accessible. A high-interest savings account is the best place to keep it. Setting one up takes about 10 minutes. Now, month 4, start investing while finishing your emergency fund. Most people think investing is complicated or risky, or that it's something to do after you've saved for years. But the sooner you start, the more wealth you'll build. Here's the plan. Max out employer benefits. If your company offers a retirement match, contribute enough to get the full match. It's literally free money. Open a tax-advantaged investment account. If you're in the UK, get a stocks and shares ISA. In the US, look into a Roth IRA. These accounts let you keep more of your gains instead of losing them to taxes. Invest in broad market funds. You don't need to pick stocks. Most professionals can't even beat the market consistently. Instead, invest in index funds and ETFs. The S&P 500 has averaged a 10% return over 20 years. That's the power of long-term investing. Keep building your emergency fund while investing. At first, you might put 70% of extra money into your emergency fund and 30% into investments. Then shift to 50-50, and once your emergency fund is set, focus 100% on wealth building. This way, you're always moving forward, building security and growing wealth at the same time. Now, month 5. Increase your income. Every job should give you one of two things: a learning opportunity, an earning opportunity. If you're getting neither, change something. Negotiate a pay raise. Look for better paying jobs. Switching jobs is often the fastest way to increase income. Start a side hustle. Whether it's freelancing, selling a skill, or monetizing a hobby, even an extra $200 and $300 a month accelerates your savings and investments. And finally, month 6, automate and optimize. Have you ever heard of decision fatigue? The more choices we make, the worse our decisions get. That's why by the end of the day, we default to whatever is easiest, whether that's skipping the gym, ordering takeout, or ignoring our finances. That's why automation is key. The secret to financial success isn't discipline, it's removing the need for discipline altogether. Automate bills and fixed expenses. Set up direct debits for rent, mortgage, utilities, insurance, and debt payments. Automate savings and investments. Schedule automatic transfers to your savings, investment accounts, and retirement funds. Pay yourself first. Use a separate account for spending. When the money's gone, it's gone. And lastly, review and adjust. Your financial plan isn't static. Your income changes, expenses shift, goals evolve. Keep learning and optimizing. If this was helpful, hit that subscribe button and I'll see you next time with more tips to take control of your financial life.